For the first time in more than 5.5 years, we finally tonight have a few new answers to a question that has loomed over Indiana and over the town of Delphi. Who killed Abby Williams and Libby German?
The end of the bridge you got to go through. Now, I believe that the bodies were found about 50.
Born from a family's grief and determination. In April of 2020, Army soldier Vanessa Guillen went missing while stationed at one of the largest military installations.
You hear that little music in the background that goes, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious."
Right.
Knew about it or was there. He's as guilty as the person who committed it.
Chilling details in the arrest of a suspected serial killer caught before he could strike again.
Him, they dropped the ball, man. Like they said, he went AWOL, and that he was a deserter, and nobody went to look for him.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder.
Like I said, we're going back. We were asked last time to kind of talk about the food, the grub truck video, and kind of give our perspective of it. The press release from the police department, it indicated that they're still trying to put pieces together from that night. Does that worry you at any point or at any bit that they're still trying to put those pieces together?
It's been over 5 weeks since little Kaylee Anthony vanished. Her mother, Casey, has been arrested for lying to police. She's being held without bail.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000. It still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to The Drunken Turkey Show. Your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Drunk Turkey Show. I'm your host, Daniel J. Alongside with me is my host, Big Blue. How's it going, buddy? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I went for a nice hike today, so it was good.
Oh yeah, where'd you go hiking at, if you don't mind me asking?
It's called Frederickson Park. It's a city park out in the outskirts of I-10 in the Dominion. It's about a good 2.5 mile hike up some trails, and it's pretty crazy. The ice. It's a lot of cedar trees out there, so the ice, collected on the branches, and there was branches down everywhere.
Oh, wow.
But it was fun.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. It's been a cold couple of days down here in Texas. It's probably nowhere near as cold as it's probably in other parts of the United States, especially up north. But for us, it's been a good few days that are kind of cold, and we got a early $5 super chat. Thank you, Lena, from Truth and Transparency, saying happy Friday, have a great show. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Look forward to working more with you in the future. We have a lot of people already in the live chat, 319 of you guys watching this. We were supposed to have Publicly Buzzed on the show, but we had a few guys under the weather. One of the hosts there wasn't feeling very well, so we're going to have to reschedule. And then our good friend Jaime, he's not feeling good as well, so he's going to be taking a sick day, so to speak. And so we wish you guys the best and look forward to having you guys back on.
Yeah, I'll get better, guys. COVID's still going around, and still the flu a little bit. So, yeah.
Yes, be careful. Be vigilant and be precautious, and make your best judgments.
I just sent you 2 photos from today, so you can show one if you want to show it of how bad the ice took some trees down today.
Yeah, let's pull that up.
And one of them was for my breakfast. It was a pretty good breakfast I had today.
Oh yeah. All right, let's show this real quick. So that tree fell completely down to the side?
Yeah, there was a bunch of them like that throughout the whole park.
Dang.
Because you're like on a cliffside and it's all rocks, so Yeah, that was mine and my breakfast dates, lunch, and breakfast. So it was pretty good.
What is that? What is that? What did y'all have?
So I had the bear claw, but it was blueberry cream with roasted pecans on the top and a regular coffee. And then she had the jalapeno ham and cheese croissant.
Looks pretty good, man. Looks pretty good. Was it as good as it looks?
It was good. It was good. I would go back there again. It's a place by Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. If anybody's from San Antonio, it opened up not that long ago. It's a pretty good spot.
Nice, man. Nice. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It looks very like it tasted very well. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm just gonna move some things around because my computer is acting up now. Just great. All right. So Big Blue, we had a little bit of some news that popped up earlier. Not related to the well, I guess we did have some news last night related to the Idaho incident, but we had a Chinese balloon enter into the United States area. It's been around for a couple of days. It was just reported. What are your thoughts on that balloon? And we'll kind of get into that. And want to say thank you to El Guapo. Blue. This is there you go. 42
El Guapo 42
for being a member. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For those who don't speak Spanish, that means the handsome gentleman.
I knew what it meant. I promise. I just couldn't say the words. You know what I'm saying? So let's pull this up real quick. And so this is a suspected Chinese spy balloon was drifting over the United States earlier today. It was spotted over Montana. It's been in the air for a while. Apparently, our president had initially ordered a strike on this balloon. However, the Pentagon urged against it, and I guess they didn't shoot it down. So, what are your thoughts initially on the United States allowing this balloon to basically cross the entire country?
At first, I thought it was just a weather balloon that got away from them, which happens quite a bit sometimes. I hear, but they're pretty sure they make ropes in China and it fell apart. So I'm going to be surprised that it came this way. But the other thing is that they didn't shoot it down is one thing, but the other thing is that they're saying that our U.S. consul, what's his name, the representative that's supposed to go next week to China, cancels his trip because this might cause a little bit of friction between us.
Right. I don't know about that, man. I find it concerning. Initially, I guess it was over this area where we hold some of our nuclear stuff, and it's kind of flying over some sensitive areas. You think maybe they say that they don't want to shoot it down as far as it could be a potential danger, as far as the debris or whatnot that would come down. I'm wondering if there's maybe maybe perhaps there's something more to this, maybe something biological. They're afraid to shoot it down, that it could be some type of weapon inside. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, it looks pretty big. So if they shoot it down and it falls and they have no way of catching it, and it lands on somebody's house, lands on a building, cars, it's going to destroy some stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're just going to let it fly over. They said right now they're controlling what it can collect. So I guess they're stopping it from being able to receive any information. And I guarantee you, once it hits the other ocean, they're going to shoot it down when it has a potential landing just in water.
Right. Well, I mean, I understand that, but it was over Montana, and I'll see if I can pull a picture up for you guys. It was over Montana, and
I like this comment. It says Elon can go snatch it up and drive it back into space.
Right. Yeah, it was over Montana. There's a lot of area out there that they could have did a design strike, so that way they could have got it to fall down near an area they wanted to. Now it's a balloon, so I reckon they don't need to fire a full-on missile at this thing. I think they just need to maybe just a couple of rounds from a gun off of an aircraft would probably be sufficient enough for it to fall down. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for them to do it in an area where they believe that it would have landed with the most rural of areas, and not to go too deep down the rabbit hole, but like I've been out to Pennsylvania, to the area where United 93 went down. I suspect that one, there's a lot of conspiracies, but that one was actually taken down by our government versus what's assumed from the movie. There's a lot of weird stuff about that, and in fact, the president Bush at the time had given an order to shoot down any planes that were still possibly hijacked during that day. And so he had came out, and I think it was on a memoir that he thought it was actually taken down by the military for a while there until it was discovered that wasn't what the case was. But when you go out there to the area, it's a rural area, it's in the middle of nowhere. Some of the stuff that is described, like it just doesn't make sense. Like, for instance, go ahead, Blue.
Somebody put on there, we can send a drone up there to shoot it. Well, not necessarily, because with the calculations that they're saying that it's higher than what a commercial jet can fly, but it's lower than what a satellite can fly. So it's gonna be, it would have to be like a jet that can actually go that high and come back down, which I don't think we probably have one that would be manned.
Right. And so, rest in peace for Flight 93. It was a sad situation. 9/11 was horrible. I mean, everybody who was, old enough to remember or have a memory remembers where they were that day. But in that situation, it's just, I feel that in this scenario, you would have thought that they would have the technology, the math, and the ability to determine if they were to fire something at this balloon, that they could get a approximate area of where the wreckage would land, and do that in an area that is safe, unless they feel that there is a danger of some kind. Now, the fact that there's a balloon and one of this, magnitude and capabilities, don't you think that's like a sign of war? Don't you take it that way, Big Blue? Like, yo, this is
I don't see it as a sign of war right now. They haven't dropped anything.
Well,
but it's something that I think we've been on the brink of happening for a while. There's some conflict between us, and something eventually might happen. It's just something if tensions get higher, it's just going to happen.
Wow, there's a possible second balloon. Let me see this.
Yeah, they're saying there's a second one over the South American. So I haven't seen that yet. But
well, here's the thing. Supposedly, this air balloon was either tracked or seen or whatnot, but it was in the airspace for 12 days before, I guess, somebody noticed it, right? This one says Chinese spy balloon, second airship spotted over Latin America as Pentagon reviews options. A second spy balloon has been spotted moving across Latin America, Pentagon announced Friday night. It's unclear exactly which country the region the balloon is hovering over, but it does not appear as if it's heading towards the United States. Earlier, a senior Pentagon official flatly rejected Beijing's claim that that a Chinese airship spotted flying over sensitive U.S. military sites was a meteorological research balloon. You see, now they're lying about what it is too. Like, why don't they want to take it down? I'm getting a little. I mean, I'm a little concerned about this. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I have this. I don't know what the diameter of it is and how big it is. I mean, you can say it's just a balloon, but it could have some computer, you know, computer data to take the data down on there, and it could be as big as as big as a car sometimes.
No, I understand that, but like, I mean, is it possible they could have something biological that could hurt us that, if they do take it down, could get released? That's where my mind goes to as to why they're allowing this thing to survive for so long.
Let me say it's as big as 3 school buses, so that's pretty big.
That is a large. That is a large item. I mean, it's not something small. Let's see. General Pat Ryder said during a press briefing at midday on Friday that the U.S. was continuing to weigh in its options and described the airship's presence as unacceptable violation of U.S. airspace. We are aware of the People's Republic of China statement. However, the fact is we know that it's a surveillance balloon. He said the balloon was moving eastwardly over the center of the United States at an altitude of 60,000 feet on Friday. Possible sightings of the balloon were reported in Missouri on Friday afternoon. Fox 2 reported that it was visible in the skies from 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. And the National Weather Services in Kansas City office shared photos of a mystery balloon above the city at 12:30 p.m. Defense officials have said the balloon's flight path has taken over a number of sensitive military sites, including Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, which houses 150 nuclear warheads. On Friday, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken postponed a planned trip to China after Beijing claimed ownership of the balloon. So here's my thing about this balloon thing, though. Like, and this is what's also building my concern. They have satellites that could probably do just as good of a job taking surveillance as they would a balloon. Why is this balloon being used?
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? That concerns me. They don't want to shoot it down. And apparently also in the briefing or in a presser, the general or the I'm not sure what his rank was, but the guy that was speaking on it, he stated that there's been other balloons or other aircraft that they've seen flying over sensitive spots.
They're not going to shoot it down right now because they don't want it to fall on people or us. Yeah, the one person I'm interested in his theories is Doc Skinner. We should have called him up today and see if he wanted to jump on here. I mean, I'm pretty sure he has some friends up there that might know some answers.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And, like I said, it's just weird to me that this thing has been up and around for so long. And it's not, we're not doing anything. Do you think that shows maybe a little bit of weakness?
No, I mean, we're as strong as a nation. We have what we need to defend ourselves. I just think, that there are probably some risk of shooting it down over our own selves. We don't know what it's carrying, and that could cause something else. There's carrying something else in it.
That's true. That's true. Do you think that that our military would have the technology capable to determine what, if there's a device on there capable of exploding? You know what I mean? I would think they would have some type of equipment to determine those type of things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they might have to fly something up there and, test it for radiation like anything else.
Wasn't it? Man, I could be wrong. I know there was one country, I think it was China, that had a missile that went around the world super fast, right? And then I don't think we even noticed it until like days after they did their test. Man, this is I don't know, man. I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything, but
just to be fair to some of the people in the live chat might know, we also cover UFOs. As you can see behind me, I have UFOs behind me. we cover all kinds of stories, so this interests us.
Right? Yeah, we're not just we're. Did you see something about being not talking about true crime or what?
Yeah. Well, earlier somebody asked about where's the true crime at. I was like, that's okay. We talk about everything. We're diverse.
Very diverse for sure. But tonight is the Q&A show, so if you guys have any questions for us, we had some other things planned, but unfortunately, some fellas weren't feeling so good. Hyman on our side and our friends at Publicly Buzz, so we had to reschedule that. But we wanted to come out here and talk to you guys. So, anything you guys want to talk about, whether it's UFOs or you want to talk about the Idaho 4 case, more than happy to do so.
Or if there's any case y'all are interested that might interest or pique our interest, let us know.
One of the stupid reasons my fiance keeps postponing our wedding is because I believe in UFOs. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about this. Let me see if I can get a picture of this. Ego 10 says, Big Blue, did you see the new silver orb photo released by Jeremy Corbell? Did you see it, Big Blue?
No, not yet.
Not yet. You know what? Let's pull that up. Let's do that right now real quick.
I've been focusing on true crime with us, so we've been looking at true crime cases.
Lies. I sent this to everybody. I sent this in the group.
Maybe I saw it, but there's also a super chat in there too. I'm trying to bring it up.
Pull it up. $4.99, guys. Look into Whitney Webb. One nation under blackmail. China is the model for America. The balloon isn't weather nor surveillance. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. We appreciate that. I'm a little bit concerned about this balloon, to be honest with you. It's concerning to me just for the fact that the reaction of our government is what's making me concerned, because to me it's making me think that maybe perhaps there's a reason to be concerned.
That wasn't too concerning. The one thing that got me was I saw the video you sent earlier about the balloon, and then also the part where they were interviewing today Biden at the end of his press conference, and they asked him about if he was worried about Russia and a nuclear strike, and he said Russia would be I think they would use it against Ukraine, but they would be really in trouble if they did use it. That's pretty much his words. We'll see, man. Things escalate quick.
Yeah, no, things do. Like I said, I don't know, man. It's I'm concerned about it. I'm not going to deny it. Let me see if I can find this UFO, the orb, and that way we can talk about what it is. I know I have a picture of it somewhere. It's on Jeremy Corbell. There it is. Give me a second, Blue. I'm just going to find it real quick. And full screen. Here it is. So this is the orb that was taken from some kind of top secret plane with some type of camera system. Apparently, this orb here was seen on a 4-second clip. It didn't. It was traveling. It didn't fall. It didn't descend. It just kind of stayed there.
Oh yes, I know this one now.
Yeah. We talked about this. What do you think? What do you think it is? If you put your debunking hat on, right? If you had to say that this wasn't the UFO, what would you think it is? This is the Mosul orb.
It's the U.S. version of a weather balloon. I'm joking.
Yeah. You think it's a balloon though?
I don't know. It's too reflective, so it's got some chrome or shiny metal to it to be any little balloon, and it's compared to like the house sizes, it's pretty big.
It sure is. It looks like it's it looks like a very large object, depending on how far away that object is, right?
Yeah.
And so
somebody put it's a drone, but if it's one of our drones, I've never seen a round one. I've only seen the ones that look, like triangle shaped. The two wings and it could be a new drone getting worked on. Could be a facility down the street.
You don't think it looks like a speck of water with a water droplet on the camera?
No, I don't think so, because it's sitting there perfectly smeared. If it was a speck of water and the camera's moving quickly, it would be smeared. It'd be droplets.
Oh, I mean, if it's on the camera lens itself.
I don't know.
It would be a droplet that's very small. That appears very large because it's on the camera lens. That's the only thing that I can think of, is that it's either it's either a gravity defying craft that is metallic in color, or a water droplet. That's what I'm going with, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Let's see. Let's look at the comment section real quick. Why don't they tell China they have 1 hour to get it down, or we'll shoot it down? Question mark. Yeah. I mean, I'm concerned about it. I'm concerned. I know. The fact also that the Chinese government is coming forward and saying that it is, a weather type of thing, or weather balloon, and it also got lost track, and that it's not a spy balloon or has surveillance, and the United States says that they know for a fact that it is a surveillance balloon, and that they are at least being in some form or fashion a little bit deceptive. That's a concern to me.
The thing that gets me is that China didn't say that there was two of them. That's like, they could have said, hey, that's one of them, but we're missing two.
Here's the other thing too. So this balloon went through Canada. I wonder if Canada knew that it was in their airspace as well.
Yeah, it could have been shot over certain regions of Canada that are pretty much, just snow and tundra.
Somebody goes, are you guys oblivious to the explosions in the sky over Billings, Montana? Yes, I'm oblivious to that. I am not aware of that whatsoever. Are you aware of that, Big Blue?
No, I'm not. I haven't been able to watch the news much today. I was on a hike trying to center myself, get some fresh air, man. So I was not watching the news this morning.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. I saw it. I was like, man, at first I was like, they got to shoot it down. And then they were like not coming through or not coming forward with doing it. And then that, President Biden come forward saying that he wanted to shoot it down. And then the Pentagon saying no. Let's advise not to doing that right now. Kind of tells me a little bit something. It's kind of concerned. Very concerning. And so in the other news, when it comes to what everybody's always talking about out here recently, or what we're known for as far as coverage, is in the Idaho, in the Idaho 4 Ashley Banfield came out last night. I made a video earlier today about this. They had sources close to the case come forward, talk about the potential injuries and the order in which the victims were taken. Um, did you hear about that or see the video from earlier that I made?
No, I mean, I saw you posted it on there, but I had a chance, man. I've been out
No
of the
big
house
deal,
all
man.
day.
No big deal, man. I'll kind of give you the rundown. Basically, the sources stated that the girls in the third floor, Kaylee and Madison, were initially the first targets, and that and that Ethan and then Xana was last. Real quick before we get into it, though, we got a thank you, Blue, a $9.99 super chat by. Whoa, where'd it go?
I think I accidentally clicked it twice.
I got it. But got it.
Go ahead,
J Dubs too. They are not drones or weather balloons. I work Predator and Reapers out of Afghan. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't think they're balloons. They're definitely the military has come forward, and you got to take it with a grain of salt because the military is not going to divulge in everything that they know, right? I mean, they keep their secrets close to the vest, but they have stated that they are aware that it is a surveillance that has been doing surveillance this balloon, and so it is something that I am deeply concerned about it. Definitely so. But thank you so much for the $9.99, and thank you for your service. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And so, when it comes to Idaho, sources that came forward to News Nation and talked about basically the order in which the victims were taken and described some of the injuries that had taken place, right? The first, the order was that Madison and Kaylee were first, that were on the third floor, that were to be attacked. And then it was Ethan in the doorway, and then it was Xana last. And that Xana put up a fight, and so much so that her fingers were severely injured to the point where they were almost severed from grabbing the blade.
Yeah.
Now I heard all that, and it just didn't jive with me on what the probable cause affidavit stated, what the scene looked like. It didn't make sense. When the scene talks about being able to see Xana's body, right? And let me pull up the. Let me see if I get it to work first and foremost. It wasn't working very well.
I think the main thing is going to be the photo evidence for the case, and of course we're not going to get privileged to see those, but at least they'll get an idea and how gruesome this was.
Chloe's mom says J Dubs too. What do you think it is? Would love to hear your theory. Thank you. Yeah, if you have a theory, J Dubs, on what those balloons are, please let us know. If you think it's something other than a surveillance balloon. And so where is it at? All right. So this is right here. As Officer Smith entered the King Road residence, he went up to the second floor. He later learned was Xana's room. Just before the room was a bathroom and a door on the south hallway. As I approached the room, I could see the body, later identified as Kernodle, laying on the floor. She was deceased with wounds which appeared to be caused by an edge weapon. And so when you look here, right, if he's walking in this way and he's able to see, and it's described that she's in her bedroom, and he's able to see Xana on the floor, then that means that this door is open. So her body has to be a little bit further back because the door would have had to have been able to clear, her, unless she's blocking the doorway. But my assumption is that she would be a little bit further back. And based on looking outside of the residence, and that there was that red substance that was on the outside of the leaking onto the foundation in the back, I would assume that Ethan's body was probably somewhere along this wall back here. Now, also in this article, source to News Nation had stated that Ethan had his throat slashed. And so, and that he was outside of the doorway when it occurred. You being in the medical field, Blue, if somebody has their throat cut to that severity,
The carotid artery.
right? But and they're outside of this door, because it seems like, based on what Ashley Banfield stated, it wasn't in the doorway; it was just outside as he exited the room. Do you see that guy being able to stumble back and make his way to the back wall there?
You got a few seconds, man. It depends on how deep and how quick you got it, but you do have a few seconds before you bleed out. So I would say he can.
Gotcha.
Especially
Yeah.
if he would have been like tossed back with a strike, then he could have thrown a little bit further.
Got you. Makes sense. Now, the other thing, so the wounds on the hands, right? In my opinion, if they're grabbing the knife right like this, and her hands are getting cut, that probably means that it is double. Oh, man, what's the word I'm looking for? Double-edged. You know what I'm saying? It's on both sides, not just the bottom part of the knife. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Serrated on both sides.
yeah. The thing is, it depends if they got it. I mean, like if they got the artery, it just take a couple seconds. Because sometimes they get this side, they're not gonna bleed out all the way. And depends on how much pressure he was able to put on there before it started getting very slippery and not being able to hold the pressure. I mean, it's kind of hard to look and see where the bleeding's coming from when you're trying to stop your own neck from bleeding.
Right. But what I'm saying is the knife. Because I've looked at these knives before, these K-bar knives, and they only one side of them have the.
Yeah, one side's sharp, the other side's pretty dull.
Right, but if it was to the point where her fingers were nearly severed, then that would indicate that the top of the blade was also sharp, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, she might have been trying to grab at it, and he's just yanking, and the force.
No, I understand that, but if you're facing somebody and the knife's coming at you, I mean, unless like the knife's right, where the direction of which the knife is going to be held at, the bottom part of your hand is probably taking the blunt of that edge. I mean, it's crazy. Who knows?
I've seen people clean, champagne glasses and break it in their hand and, cut half their finger off. So, and that's just with a champagne glass. I can imagine the force of somebody striking you, what it can do.
Right.
No,
I understand that. I just don't know if these sources are strong enough. I don't know if the source is accurate. Go ahead, Blue.
Let me tell you one thing I saw today on my hike that just seemed very weird to me. So I go on hikes all the time. Right. So me and my girlfriend were walking out of the park, and there was a group of people walking in, and there was a group like it's a veteran group that has they do a lot of charities. What's the name of the veteran group? I knew the name of it earlier. Their symbols like two veterans, one's carrying the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But they were going on the hiking trail too, like a lot of people. So there was these two ladies. I guess they got a little bit behind the pack, and they're like, "Hey, do you know where the group went?" So yeah, they're right around the corner. They're about a minute up. So she's gonna catch up to them, right? And then there was another guy walking behind them, and he was by himself, and he just seemed a little awkward, right? So me and Letty kind of look at him while we turn towards him because like he just looked awkwardly placed there. He literally took his jacket and covered his face while he walked by us, man. That was the weirdest thing that I've never seen anybody do that on a hike that I go to. Most of the time I say, hey, good morning or good afternoon. But this guy avoided us and just covered his face and walked by us.
You didn't see a trail of anything behind him?
No, it was
you don't
like
think he may have just committed a crime?
It was right in the beginning. It was the Wounded Warriors. It was the Wounded Warriors. They were doing their trail. But yeah, like there was, and she's like, should we follow him? I was like, this is just the entrance. And then there's a big group there and there's another group coming. So it'd be hard for him to do something. The hard part is in the mountain trails, it does get a little sketchy because you're by yourself and somebody can hide on the side. So man, hopefully nothing happened. But that was just the weirdest thing I've confronted lately. Sometimes I see homeless people here and there, and they're kind of acting weird. In the woods, that they have their tent set up and everything. But this guy was just like walking like normal. Saw that I kind of glanced at him, and he just covered his face and just walked right by us. That was the weirdest thing.
That is weird, man. That is weird. JDubs2 comes back with another $10 super chat. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. She says Montana holds many of our ICBMs, which are the ballistic missiles. There's no other word of saying it. Her guess is that it's a low-level recon disguised as weather balloons. And it also has the ability, apparently, to maneuver itself, and so it can change direction and things of that nature. And so the path that it's on, in my opinion, is not by accident. What do you think, Blue? You think it's the wind took it? I don't think the wind took it.
No, not if it's... If it was a wind taking it, it wouldn't have taken so many days to cross. It's been there for a couple of days, they said. Yeah. And somebody did put on their live chat that he might be autistic. He might be. I mean, he might be, but somebody else passed him ahead of us, and he didn't cover his face. So I don't know. Maybe because I kind of looked towards him, and it might have freaked him out. But I'm not a scary guy,
Well, Blue, you shouldn't be hiking with your luchador mask. Obsessed for Disneyland comes in with a $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you. And so, when it comes to the plane or the balloon, it's apparent that it's flying over some important areas, and it's been in the air for a while. It could be a distraction, perhaps maybe they wanted it to be seen. They wanted to be spotted. That way they can utilize satellite image, satellites to see what it is that, the reaction of something like this. Maybe that's what they're trying to monitor. I don't know. It's insane. It's insane. If you have a picture of the balloon, I see that. Where do you send it? Here, I'll send you the email right now. Give me 1 second. Our email at drunkturkeyshow@gmail.com. I need to pull it up real quick. Send us if you have any emails or questions or pictures or things of that nature, you want to send it to us, send it to us there, and we'll be able to get that. Oh, I got another video from one of our newest members. This video he had made with a map in real time to show the theories you want to look at. We do it live. I'm in the chat now. If you want me to pull up, I'm ready right now. Thank you so much. I'd have to look at it first, and then we'll maybe we'll be able to bring you on. But definitely look into that stuff for sure.
And I thank everybody. It was the Wounded Warriors, and I remember the symbol just perfectly in my head. They all had their beanies and their sweaters that had a Wounded Warrior emblem.
Now we'll look into that, Amanda. Amanda also sent us an email. All right. So, but if y'all have any questions in the comment section, $10 super chat by Guapo42. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. I just got your email. Let me watch that video after the show, and then we'll set up something that way we can talk about it. Thank you for your super sticker. We appreciate it.
Hey, Wapo, better not be a front. You better be Wapo, man. You can't have that name and not be Wapo, man.
Blue's expecting a handsome person on the other line. Let's see. Second balloon over Latin America. Yeah, no, this is getting kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The balloon situation, where it's flying, the reaction from our government is concerning. It's concerning. It's very concerning to me. But China's. I know that they bought like supposedly thousands of acres, right, outside of Laughlin Air Force Base a couple of years back,
and around San Antonio too.
Yeah. So they own like, I think that's supposedly it was agricultural land, but it was near and it's close to our training bases in the state of Texas. I find it a little bit concerning. I told you guys, hey man, that's pretty crazy that there's these that China's buying all this land near our Air Force bases. Let's see. All right. So Rhonda says, I'm thinking Ethan was coming back from the bathroom and saw Xana. Okay. Here's the other question I have about that situation, right? So apparently, two people are awake during this incident, right? We're talking about the Moscow Idaho 4. Ethan and Xana.
Yeah.
The probable cause affidavit, in my opinion, is probably going to be the most accurate dictation of the scene and what we should know about that scene, as much as that's possibly out there, right? And the reason being is because the police can lie to the media, they can lie to people that they're talking to, but they can't lie to the courts, right? Once they put in something in a court document, that court document cannot be purged or purposely lied. That's perjury. A lot of things can happen. So the probable cause affidavit is probably going to be the most closest accurate information that we're going to find on this case. And so I say that because it states on there that there's an audio of around the time where the crime is occurring, and that the only thing that you can hear is dogs barking. You hear some whimpering. You hear a thud. You don't hear any yelling. It's what you don't see on there that you should expect: screams, yelling, cry for help, things of that nature. How confused are you about how this possibly went down? What do you think, Blue?
Yeah, I mean, if the story's true that Dylan said she was on that floor, she would have heard the rustling. I mean, if some people with a paper cut was screaming so loud, imagine having your fingers almost cut off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that she didn't hear it, but I mean, I don't want to accuse her or anything. Hopefully, the truth will come out when she comes to court, and we'll go from there.
Right. Now, yeah, and there's possibly, and more than likely, probably a lot more to the story than we are told at this point. I think that they may have some more evidence. I think that they found him in the manner in which that they say they did, where they narrowed him down in the manner that they say they did, which was they utilized the assistance from the neighboring city's police department to locate vehicles that were registered to the nearby university, WSU, to find vehicles that were registered there that were matching the description of the white Elantra. Went through those registered drivers to figure out and narrow down those that fit the description of over 5'10", normal build, 185 pounds or so. And then they basically just kind of narrowed it down from there. They probably weren't just following or watching Kohberger alone. Once they were able to get the cell phone data that he was pinging around the house a few times, and that he had his phone turned off during the commissioning of the crime, that's probably what narrowed down that search even more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so somebody said that they did hear some crying, which
Right.
they believed it was from the third floor. That's what most people believe. But I mean, if somebody's throat is slashed, you'd hear some crying or gurgling. And if you chop somebody's finger and they're defending themselves, you would hear screaming, not just crying.
Yeah, man, that's the part that gets me, man. It's the part that makes me. It's concerning.
And we don't want to cause any, people causing any issues with that. I mean, she's a young girl who's trying to live the dramatic, life that she's going to have to live from losing 4 good friends and her being there, potentially being a witness. So our thoughts and prayers go out to her. Maybe she'll be called up as a witness and we'll hear the truth.
Hey, Blue, since you're in the medical field, have you ever heard of the visual snow thing that he was talking about?
No, I didn't hear that part.
All right, so I mean, not necessarily to Brian Kohberger, but as a diagnosis or from somebody, maybe a patient that you've had, have they ever experienced visual snow? Apparently, that's where somebody starts to see the kind of like that white snowy pattern that you would see on the TV when you were on a channel that didn't exist or you didn't have, it was too far out back in the day. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I mean, I work I don't work in an ER setting. I work in a smaller setting than an ER. I don't want to say it out there no more where I work because I don't want none of y'all fanboys showing up and trying to get my autograph. But it's I've never heard of that, honestly. I mean, I think this does interest me, so I like looking that up and researching it. So I might research it and see what it does. I'm pretty sure there's more casing than that.
Like, I've heard of people that have had that visual snow. I don't understand what the correlation with what the visual snow is and somebody committing this type of crime. I'm not sure if there's anybody else who's had the visual snow and has committed some kind of heinous crime such as this for it to be some sort of defense. You know what I'm saying? Or a reason. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of reasons why somebody wouldn't be screaming. But, in my opinion, you have 2 people awake and you have one person getting attacked first than the other. If there's only one attacker, right? If you only have one attacker, and then you have that person can't attack 2 people at the same time with one weapon, it would be one and then the other. You would think that the second person would, yell, alarm, things of that nature as well.
Yeah, like if it happened, I would yell, alarm, try to get somebody else awoken to get to safety.
What do you think about the fact that the coroner and the police came out saying that they believed initially that the incident occurred while all of the victims were asleep?
I mean, like if there's proof of photographic proof where the stuff happened, there's got to be blood trails. There's got to be when you strike something with a knife. I mean, even just in the demonstration videos, you would see the splatter where it goes, the blood. It just doesn't harden right away. It doesn't thicken, doesn't drop. It splatters, especially when you get an artery. When you get an artery, it just pumps out, man. It drips out.
Right.
And I seen somebody get an arterial bleed in their leg, and we took the bag off, and the pressure, because he came in walking with a huge bag on his foot and it was full of blood. and we took the bag off, took the pressure off, and the blood shot across the room about 8 feet, hit the wall. So there's got to be that kind of evidence. I've seen it in fingers too, when people cut, their hands and it's arterial bleed. Take that thing off, it shoots a good 3 feet out of their finger.
That's insane. Thank you, Jacqueline Hull, for the $4.99 super sticker. Apparently, there's a song out called Pullman, Washington. I'm seeing this in the live chat. Have you heard it, Blue?
No, I saw it earlier. I was wondering what they were talking about. I was going to look it up afterwards. It does congeal quickly, but I've seen it.
It was
I'm talking about.
released.
I've seen that blood shoot out of, when I unwrap a lot of wounds at night. People work at restaurants, chop half their finger off, their fingertips off. I'm the one that does those bandages in the middle of the night sometimes because we do a lot of workers' comp, and the blood sometimes does shoot out. It pours out half the time, but depends what they cut.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. And this is going to be a shorter show tonight, guys. Big Blue got to work tonight, and so we're probably going to be on for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
I think somebody said if I was drinking Jägermeister, I was drinking. I'm an old man. I drink ginger ale soda.
So the lyrics to this song, Pullman, Washington, is crawl to the window, whisper to me if it snowed. We'll plot the M each other, and I'll be your alibi. Bind me with wire, tell me your favorite vice, and I'll discuss my childhood if you need a sedative. And so on. And so, pretty crazy, man. That's pretty crazy, coincidence. Crazy song. But, Blue, do you have any? I know you got to go to work here in a little bit. Do you have any final words for everybody before we let everybody go? We're getting close to that hour mark.
Yeah. I just wanted to tell everybody, thank you for being on. Thank you for all the donations. I want to say, there's a lot of crazy stuff going around the world. Sometimes you just need to take a day or a few moments out of your day to relax, go for a walk. Enjoy your life while you're still alive, because one day you never know when it's going to be your day.
Yeah, man. I saw this one thing. I can't remember where I saw it. I think it was online, or maybe it was while I was in Pittsburgh, and there was a picture or painting or something, and it was a sign outside of a cemetery that said, "As you pass by and you look on, just remember we once were you, and you once." And at one time you'll be us, or something to that nature. It hit me pretty crazy, man. Thank you for that $5 super chat to Leticia Guerrera. I hope I said that right. We'll be back on Monday. We'll be on with Crying Shame. They'll be joining us. They're the ones that helped us out with our new logo, y'all. I hope you guys like that. It's the last one was one that I drew with my hand, and it looked like it. And so, we'll see you guys on Monday. If anything breaks or anything comes out, we'll of course come out this weekend. But if not, we'll be back on Monday, y'all. I appreciate everybody in the live chat. I appreciate everybody that liked and subscribed. Thank you, guys.
And we're almost at 30,000, guys. I saw it earlier. It was 29.9, so we're close. We're close.
Man, we're getting there.
If you're not a sub, jump on there. We might hit 30 tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Let's see if we can do it. And I want to say thank you to all our mods. Without you guys keeping everything in the live chat going well, and keeping everybody honest and civil, we wouldn't be here. And so we appreciate you all. Until Monday, I think I got one last thing. See y'all later.
And one last thing, if anybody wants to send us a case to review, send it to the Drunk Turkey Show.
Yeah, send it to our email, please. We'll love to hear it. But we'll see you guys later. Peace out.